I don't know why acceptance of self comes later in life. It isn't because of anything we've done. It seems to be from the research, from the You Bend Towards Happiness research thing, that no matter what, even if we're not well, we tend to get happier after we hit 50, reaching a kind of height when you're around 70, and then maybe they're not sure, but there are some You Bend things that show that people at 90 are happier than people were when they were 5. Or maybe 18, yeah, they don't start at 5. I think they assume that everybody's happy when they're 5, but of course, that's bullshit. People are not necessarily happy when they're 5. I mean, imagine being 5 again, not knowing anything, if people aren't really, really looking after you, you're just lost in this world. So maybe that's it, that as you get older, you become more used to who you are and who the world is, and things aren't as difficult anymore, Yeah. And it's nice, the world is full of 1,000 tendernesses, and maybe that's one of them, right? You lose your looks, but then you also lose your eyesight, so you have no idea. It's really good like that. Well, it's very difficult to correlate. I'm not sure about correlating happiness to identity, but I do know that as an aging person in our society, you don't have an identity. You're just invisible to a certain extent. I think that's going to change. I think it is changing, but there was that notion, at least in the Western world, that as an old woman, first of all, being a woman, your identity is, sort of way down there. And then being an old woman, well, then you're totally useless. You've aged past the time when you're going to be bearing new youngsters. And so, some other societies, of course, see old women as matriarchs and as powerful. Our society didn't necessarily do that, but maybe we are. So that, as we're living longer, what are we going to do with all these old, healthy people who could make a huge contribution, and that contribution needs to be made. So yes, I think that I do see age and identity as being linked.